to Business Facts 101.
For today's lesson, let's all discuss the different types of business agreement. Starting with franchise agreement, wherein it is the legal agreement that creates a franchise relationship between a franchisor and a franchisee. Every franchise is governed by these terms, which are generally outlined in a written agreement between both parties. The franchise agreement will govern everything about how the franchisee runs the new business and lay out what they can expect from the franchisor.
Characteristics of franchise agreement. The first one is invariable terms. The franchisor will require the franchisees to use the same system and comply with the terms of franchise agreement, in which they are required to sign the same franchise agreement as every other franchisee if you want to buy the said franchise. The second one is franchise agreement is one-sided. It is common that the franchise agreement is written from the franchisor's perspective. You may say that it is unfair or unreasonable, but the franchisor will not negotiate the terms and conditions with any of the franchisees, as the franchisor wants to protect their franchise system. The third one is it has strict requirements. The franchise agreement will set out the requirements compelling the franchisees to obey the franchise system strictly. It is common if the franchise agreement has this non-competition clause. The main reason is the franchisor will share their confidential information, i.e. trade secrets, know-how knowledge, and operating system structures in the course of the franchise business, and he does not want you to disclose or utilize all confidential information to third party or compete with his franchise at your own benefit. The fourth one is fixed fee or sales target. The franchisor will impose fees they must pay initially, i.e. administrative fee, royalty fee, maintenance fee, and etc. Fees to be paid on an ongoing basis, and the fee to be paid for advertising and marketing services by the franchisor. The other vital information in this clause is the revenue or profit sharing agreement between the franchisee and the franchisor and the terms of the same. The fifth one is fixed duration. The franchisor will decide on the length of the franchise agreement. The franchise agreement will provide all franchisees a fixed duration of the franchise business, and if the franchisees intend to sell their franchise business and default the terms and conditions during the fixed duration, the franchisees shall require paying the compensation to the franchisor. And the last one is termination provision. The franchise agreement usually contains a comprehensive list of offenses that can effectively be treated as a breach of the contract and lead to the termination of the contract. The violations may be divided into two sections, one which is grounds for immediate termination of the agreement and the other which gives scope for rectification. Terms and conditions. Listed below are the different owners' responsibilities. And all failure to apply with the terms and conditions set forth may result in termination of the agreement, when further legal action is deemed necessary by the franchise. These are the responsibilities of a franchisee. For advertising, company will provide and maintain all signage, products necessary for location promotions or branding. Rights and obligations of franchise agreement. All trademarks and any copyrights belonging to franchise will always remain the franchise sole intellectual property. Any misuse of the company's trademarks or copyrights will result in the termination of this agreement. Selling or transferring a franchise. Company has rights to deny any selling or transferring of ownership of the franchise location for any reason. For the confidentiality of the agreement. Renewal and termination. This franchise agreement will be renewed as the date both parties agreed. Both parties will have options to renew and cancel this franchise agreement at said date.
The advantages of franchising. Promotes multi-unit expansion. The most important advantage of franchising is that allows you to achieve the multi-unit expansion of your business. Risk of business failure is reduced. Your business is based on a proven idea. You can check how successful other franchises are before committing yourself. Supplies managerial talent. Multi-unit expansion requires skilled, trained, and motivated individuals to manage and operate new locations. Franchisees supplies the managerial talent needed for new locations, and most important, they have a vested interest in the success of the business. Recognize brand name and trademark. You benefit from any advertising or promotion by the owner of the franchise, the franchisor. Enables a small business to compete with big businesses due to the pool of support from the franchisor and network of other franchisees. Relationships with suppliers have already been established. Creates new revenue streams. When you franchise, you are creating a new business and will benefit from fees and royalties paid to you by franchisees. When franchisees come on board and sign a franchise agreement, they pay an initial franchise fee, and ongoing, franchisees pay weekly or monthly royalty fees that are typically a percentage of their gross sales. The disadvantages of franchising. Cost. Even after you invest in franchising your business, ongoing, franchising requires that you invest your time and capital. As a franchisor, you'll be entering a new industry, and over time, you'll need to invest in your franchise system. Regulation. Franchising is a regulated industry, and before you can offer or sell a franchise, you need to work with a franchise lawyer to develop a franchise offering. Comprised of a franchise disclosure document, FDD. Ongoing, you'll need to comply with federal and state franchise laws. Franchise sales are competitive. Once you franchise your business, the next step is to sell franchises to qualified franchisees that have capital. You will need to attract qualified franchisees, and this means that you will need to invest in marketing, public relations, and relationships with franchise brokers. Inflexible nature of a franchise. This may restrict your ability to introduce changes to the business, to respond to the market, or make the business grow. Restrictions on how you can run the business. The franchise agreement usually includes restrictions. You might not be able to make changes to suit your local market. Requires time. Building up a franchise system takes time and requires time. The success of your first number of franchisees will determine the growth and trajectory of your franchise system. Franchising is one of the most dominant and successful business models in our nation. The advantages and disadvantages of franchising ultimately must be evaluated based on your specific business, your goals, and your mindset. If franchising is right for you, the advantages of franchising far outweigh the disadvantages. The right expectations and plans are key. Antiola Maria Angelica D.
Kagawan Trisha May E.
And Navarra Sarah Mariel T. BTLE ICT 226-2020-2021. Thank you and God bless everyone.